Hey everybody, Andy Kennedy here with Andy Kennedy Co. coming to you from Knoxville, Tennessee. And I am so excited today that I have my dear friend, Hannah, the foodie in Provence, tuning in from the south of France in Provence, where I just was. I was so lucky to be able to go and visit Hannah there in that beautiful space that they have on their farm. With her lovely family. Hannah and I have worked together now for about 18 months. And we met through social media, through LinkedIn, connecting through the common ground of healthy eating. And Hannah is a mind-body eating coach. And I'm excited because we're going to unpack a little bit more about Hannah. She interviewed me when I was in France, and now I'm returning the favor, and just really excited to post this to all of our platforms. So you may hear this only, you may see this. We're going live on YouTube to start, and then we're going to spread it out throughout our platforms and share Hannah with the world. So Hannah, the first question that I have, well, actually, let me back up. Give us some background, because I was just thinking you're in the south of France, but you're not French. So maybe give us a little background of what you're doing there in the south of France.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited to be here and talk with you, Andy. So I'm Hannah. Hello, everyone. I come originally from Slovakia, and we moved to south of France because my husband works on an international project, like the future of energy, really. So that's why we are here for 16 years now, and we love it here. So we had the opportunity to buy a big property, and we are building a permaculture farm. And we've purchased an old farmhouse, which we are renovating, and we have 4 kids and animals, pets, I should say. So yeah, we really love it here because, as you can see, the weather is good all the time. So that's why we are here. It's sunny here. So yeah.
It is beautiful there. It was just there, and it's an absolutely beautiful space. And one of the things that I just thought of when you were saying the word permaculture is that I remember you saying, when the first time that we had a Zoom, you kind of trolled my LinkedIn profile and saw like all of the things that we have in common: the sustainability, the plant, love of plants and using plants for healing and natural healing methods. We're both into aromatherapy and herbalism and the magic, right, of all of that and plants. So so tell us how you got into that. My 2 questions are, about your mind-body eating coach practice, but then also, the herbalism piece. So start wherever it makes sense to you, because those are the 2 things we'll cover.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it all starts in my childhood, actually. I was a very sick child as a baby. I was crying all the time. And the irony of it is that my parents are doctors. So, and my mother is a pediatrician. So she was desperate, actually. She consulted all her colleagues, but nobody knew what was wrong with me. So I was on several courses of antibiotics, and then in adulthood, of course, I had gut issues. And again, I consulted all the doctors in the area, and I was just desperate. So I was there sitting in front of my computer. I had 3 children already, like beer in one hand, salted roasted peanut in another, and I was watching Weight Loss Summit. Because, I wanted to lose weight. I was a mother with 3 kids, just, fed up with everything. And there was, on the summit, there was the founder of the Institute for Eating Psychology, Mark David. And I wasn't paying attention to him back then a lot because, I was looking for losing weight. I wanted to lose weight. And there was a speaker there who talked about paleo nutrition. And I have a college degree in history, actually. So everything paleo was interesting. So I immediately started to eat the paleo way and like to live paleo lifestyle, and it completely changed my life. So And then, I wanted to share everything. I wanted to have a paper actually, so I can coach people about what I knew. So I started with social media, and I found the account of Institute of Eating Psychology, and they were doing a challenge. And when you say challenge, I'm all in. Like all the challenges, I love it. They were doing a challenge. You could with prices, and you could get off a tuition, like thousands of dollars off tuition. So I was really excited, and I actually won second prize. So I won 1,500 off tuition, but I still needed $6,000. So I was like, okay, this is not for me, not today. But then one lady from the institute contacted me, and she was like, we have this internship possibility, and you look like a really great fit. So actually, I started an internship to pay for my studies at the institute. I worked as a social media content creator, and it's really funny about, you teach the course manifesting with synchronicity, and I was listening to the message back then in 2014 when I met Mark David on this weight loss summit. But suddenly later, years later, he was there, and it's just like universe told me that, hey, second message, listen to this one. So I finished the studies, I passed the exam, I got the certificate, and yeah, it's all that we learned there. It was just really, really life-changing, because it's all about mind-body connection and microcosm and microcosm, macrocosm. And when it comes to herbs, it's really all comes together, because when you want to really absorb the environment where you live in, you have to know the flowers and the herbs and the flora actually around you. Otherwise, you are not really feeling at home in your environment. So yeah, I was actually when I was like in my teenage years, I was drawing pictures of herbs. It's very funny. Even if my mother is conventional doctors, she knew all the old wives' remedies. The vinegar socks and onion syrup. So I really got it through my mother, the love for natural remedies, even if she's more on the conventional side, or like pills and the conventional medicine. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love how everything is full circle. So there's that piece of you saying, I didn't get the message from this person. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. I could probably list, at least right now I'm already thinking of 3 people that, when it came out, when The Secret came out, it didn't absorb that particular teacher. And then, years later, here I am listening to Mike Dooley and, things like that. I think, we only hear them when we're ready for them. The brain can only take in so much content at once. So there's that full circle for you. The whole social media thing is interesting too, because, when you came to us with Live with Vitality coaching, so Hannah and I, are also part of Live with Vitality Collective. We have a social media account on all 3 platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn there. It's a collective of coaches. So when you came to us and joined that, I instantly was like, wow, her social media is amazing. She's obviously got it going on, as far as marketing. And that's something that I did in a former life as well for the nonprofit that I worked at. So I love people who are confident in that sort of social media sort of space of like telling a story, showing it visually, luring people in with that, because I think we see so much stuff out there, obviously on social media now we're just bombarded. And now we're bombarded with ads. When we first joined all of the social media platforms, there were no ads there, and now there are ads there. And, you're tempted to buy this, that, or the other gadget for your kitchen or whatever thing they think is appropriate for you, when really, you're using it to connect with people and to find your tribe and to maybe to learn something. But I think mostly, social is to connect with people and to find that that dharma, that purpose we're all here for. Sometimes it takes that connection or two with somebody, right? or a class with somebody. So unpack some of the classes that you have, because I know that you're an online educator just like I am. You've got some great classes on Udemy. Unpack some of that for us and tell us what you've got going on over there on your site.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm a teacher, actually. I have a teacher degree, but I'm better with teaching adults because they are really implied and interested into what they want to learn.
Right.
So I have courses on gardening, on herbalism, and basically it's all about being sustainable and grow your own food. Because I mean, this is, and especially in these times, it's really food security. And you mentioned Live with Vitality Collective. We talk about it all the time, that you just have to learn, all the skills. I come from, I grew up in communist country. We had to learn everything to do by ourselves. So this is actually really just continuing the cycle. My grandmother, they had a garden, everybody had a garden, and they had their own food. So it's really like continuing the cycle, and I'm seeing that more and more people are interested in it. And also I have a course on foraging, and again, foraging, this is free food. So if you're talking about inflation and the cost of food, then if you imagine how much free food is around you, I mean, it would be strange not to like thank for all the gifts that nature gives us. So yeah.
So true. Like you said, with, inflation and cost of food, but, also the other piece with finding your own food is that you're eating seasonally. And we're meant to be, hunters and gatherers. We're meant to live with the cycles and the food that grows naturally at a certain time of year. We're not meant to eat berries and fruits, through winter. Like that's when our energy goes within, right? So it makes sense to eat more of those root vegetables that are steeped in that, like, earth and grounding, nurturing, dirt environment, right? Like good things that grow in the Mother Earth. And that's kind of our natural cycle for winter. So I love that you've got that foraging course for people to look at. So let's get down that rabbit hole of like, okay, how do people find you? And what are your websites? And we'll put all of them in our link and in the text as well. But share some of that with us too. Where can people find you?
Yeah, sure. So it's really simple, actually. It's Food in Provence across all platforms. I also have a Slovak presence on social media because I still feel that I was actually the first certified eating psychology coach in Slovakia. So I'm really, really proud of that. And I wanted to offer this possibility for Slovak people. So that's Mind Body Eating Coach. And again, Food in Provence across all platforms. As you said, we are together in Live with Vitality Collective. We have a big presence on LinkedIn. So anybody who is on LinkedIn, we share videos and really interesting stuff. So definitely go there. And I have courses on Udemy. So if you go to Udemy, and there is like sales going on all the time. So even if you are feeling right now that it's too expensive to pay for a course, these are really like affordable and really, really useful, especially now, as I said.
Especially now.
What's going on. So.
Yeah, no, especially now, teaching people to grow their own food and collect and harvest their own food. Things that I see Hannah collecting, she's collecting herbs, but they're also collecting, with her children, they're out in the woods collecting mushrooms and fruits and berries. And she's always working on recipes and new recipes in the kitchen and concocting. And I also see, the principles that you use with biodynamics and, planting with the moon. There's a lot of moon and astrological influence in the work that Hannah does as well. So yeah. So any last thoughts from you on anything that we might have missed that you want to share?
Yeah, when you mention kids, I know that many people think that, there's a huge problem with kids being on their gadgets all the time. So we really try. That's why we're going into the woods. Like, we are in the woods or somewhere outside all the time, because we feel that not only they will learn to take care of themselves, forage for food, distilling herbs, and growing their own food, but also they will not be on gadgets all the time, on electronic devices all the time. So this, I feel, is really, really important message for people.
That is such an important message. I really appreciated that when I was there, that your kids are not on their screens hardly at all. It's amazing. They're not playing games. Your son is, he's building things, but they're models. It's like very tactile and very focused work that I see him doing. And then the girls, they're playing and chasing each other around and playing make believe or they're outside. And there was a time that you and I think were outside and the kids were just running around and having just a great old time on your farm. And I really, just really respect that about you and your husband, how you sort of set that that boundary for your kids that, they have, first of all, it seemed like they have to request that screen time if they want it, right? Which I know a lot of parents do. But then also, they have that limited time of day that they can be on their screens. And you can tell they've got a lot more energy and vibrance. And of course, they've got all the healthy food that you put in their systems throughout the day. They're craving healthy food. I noticed that about your kids too. So if you as a parent struggle with, getting your kids to eat healthy or crave healthy food, Hannah's kids are not eating a bunch of sweets. They had just had Halloween and you guys were portioning those out for them, which I thought was really a great practice. They really weren't eating a lot of sweets at all. They were craving healthy food, smoothies and fruits and even pretty independent in the kitchen. Her kids range from 6 to 13, but all of them are very independent in the kitchen, can go in and get their own food. So if you're a parent that sounds like, oh my gosh, I need help with that, reach out to Hannah because she can help you with that and help create some good structure for those kids, but also help get the right nutrients in their system so they start craving better food, because that's what we've seen with our whole food concentrates and the studies that we have around that. So we didn't really even unpack any of that, but keeping an eye on the clock and kind of want to maybe wrap it up there so that we've got a good bite-sized chunk for people to listen to. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for your friendship. I love you. And I know that, meeting you was divine intervention. So being able to do our work, from across the ocean
Thank
together.
You, Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check out Hannah on all of her platforms, no matter where you spend your time online, she's there. So thanks for tuning in today, everybody. And
thank you. Bye.
We'll see you next time.